welcome to another progress report for the Foundation. So last week I talked about how I had some concerns and some problems come up with licensing. Thankfully, I was able to get a hold of the licensing team. We had some discussion and they think that including a direct link to the article is sufficient attribution. However, I was also talking to, I guess I'll just call him Ank, because his username is totally unpronounceable, I think. I'm trying to even think of how I'd pronounce it. Anxier? Anxer? I don't know. Maybe I'll write it in text here on the video for you to see it. So, I was talking with this guy's real technical guy moderator on the forum. He thinks that it might be possible to build a static list of the old articles. And so at the very least, I may be able to add a static list into the game that the game checks to see if the article is present in the static list. If it is, pulls the author name from that and displays it. And if not, it just provides the dynamic link, which is also still sufficient attribution. I'm just hoping that I can really spotlight and show off the authors and their creations. So hoping to do as much as I can with the attribution. So I'm still looking into that. I'll let you know what I find out that way. But good news is we're still moving ahead. Everything's good. Licensing issues are behind us and moving forward, which gives me the ability to put out what I believe will be the release date for the demo. I believe it'll be May 23rd. But there's nothing I foresee causing that to change. I could actually probably put it next week, except for there's a bunch of things happening for me that weekend, and I think I need to be in place and present when I release the demo, because I have a feeling there will be a tidal wave of your thing's full of bugs emails and messages coming at me, beating me in the face. So I want to be able to be present as much as possible to try and smooth that over. But I've been working really hard this week to eliminate bugs. Most of these bugs that I've been fixing are things that you probably didn't even see or know about because I either avoided them or because they came up as I was fixing other bugs. It's funny how that works. The more bugs you fix, the more you find. One of them in particular that I fixed, this doesn't really demo it, but it helps show what I'm talking about, is that these two tabs come over. I needed to make it so that this UI would correctly fit the screen regardless of whatever aspect ratio it was put at. So I managed to get it so that regardless of the aspect ratio, these panels are going to come open the same distance, show the same information, no problems. So that was excellent. However, while doing it, I realized that an older aspect ratio called 4:3 really wasn't going to work for this game. 4:3 ratio is really only present on those big square CRTs or the very first LCDs. They're not very common anymore, and statistics really suggest that it's a very small amount of people that still have 4:3 monitors. So I decided that I'm not supporting the 4:3 aspect ratio. However, even if you did have a 4:3 monitor, you can still run it in windowed mode. You just won't be able to fit it into a full screen mode. These two panels basically need a widescreen in order to have enough room for them both to be present. There was just really no way to squish the panels down enough. I'm planning on not supporting that moving forward. However, give me some feedback. Maybe there's a whole bunch of people that have 4:3 monitors still that I need to be aware of. So let me know if that's the case. Then the final thing that I want to show you is some of the work I've been doing in making attribution come into play. So we have our movable, draggable document viewer. I've cleaned it up a bit to fit the style. So you see here up at the top it has the title of the article. Underneath that's the database entry that shows where you can go on the internet to find the actual article and get the original version. Also, if I'm able to pull any author information, it will be displayed in between the title and the database entry and list the author. For tells, this should be really easy because the tells are going to be handpicked anyway. So while handpicking those articles and adding them into the GUI information, it should be pretty easy to add a line for adding in the author. For SCPs, I'm going to have to see if I can make that static author list work. The last piece of attribution is that I need to credit the license that the wiki is under. I had 2 ideas on how to do that, and I need to talk to the licensing committee to see which one they think is best. So the first method is that on the bottom of the article, I would put that this article, this text, is being licensed under the CC by SA 3.0 license. However, that's a little immersion breaking to put that on all the different documents, and I think it's a little unnecessary to slap it on every single one. So what I'd prefer to do, but I need to talk to the licensing committee about it, is that on the main credits for the game, it says that all article text is being licensed from the SCP Wiki via the CC by SA 3.0 license. So I'd credit all the articles in one place, but give their specific information on how to find more about it and its authorship information directly on the document. You may have noticed I'm still have this old paper and typewriter text thing going. I'm hoping to be able to make it so that there will be several different styles for how a document can be displayed. And in the same place where you specify which documents the GUI has attributed to it, you'll be able to be able to specify which style you want it rendered in. For those that have been on the wiki recently, you may have seen the contest, and it's not actually that recent, I guess, but the contest for GUIs where they had each group that was working on it got to make up a style for documents for the group of interest. And so there was a whole bunch of cool, unique styles for how those documents were displayed and created for the group of interest. And I'd like to mimic some of that with this viewer, because I'm hoping this viewer could be like scans of things that are found. And hopefully I might be able to pass on some of these scans and other ideas to other parts of the game as well. So some documents might be a flyer, some might be an old research paper, some might be old pages out of a book or transcripts, handwriting. I don't know, there's a whole bunch of different ways that these documents could be found, and I think it would be funner, instead of just having it all computerized scanned text, that I could make it display that information in the form of like pictures of documents. So let me know what you think about that. This coming week will probably be a lot more bug fixing, cleanup, preparation for the demo. I'm putting together a installer, at least for Windows machines. I still haven't figured out exactly how I'm going to do that for Linux and Mac, but I'm sure I can figure that out too. Just getting ready in general. So the next video probably will be somewhat similar in format to this one. A lot of discussion, not a whole lot of showing. Be sure to catch it and find out what things got updated, what changes were made, and I will see you next week.